Welcome to this Advanced Mandolin lesson. For the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to have a look at the tune written by Charlie Parker and Benny Harris called Ornithology. I'm going to split this into two sections. This is part one, and in this section we're just going to learn the melody, and in part two we'll look at the chords. So let's dive straight in. This is what Ornithology on the mandolin with a metronome set to about 112 BPM sounds like. So it's a great fun tune to play, and we're just going to look at the melody in this video. Chords will be next time. And with the melody, it's not flying up and down the neck. There's some tricky little kind of finger positions, but I'm assuming you're an advanced player, so you can have a good old crack at them yourself. The main thing I'm going to talk about is the timing and how we get the timing right, because it's not something we're used to as fiddle tune players. And there's two options that I do, and they're kind of the same thing. And the first option is using a metronome. The second option is using your foot. I can't really demonstrate using my foot in this video, but what I can do is show you how we use the metronome to keep me in time. And I don't know if you noticed when I was playing that example just before, I had the metronome clicking, but I didn't have it clicking on every beat. I just had it clicking on 1 and 3. And that's how I keep myself in time. So if we use the first phrase of, well, the first two phrases of this tune as an example, and I'll put it here where the metronome is clicking, and the red lines show where the metronome is clicking. So if I just play it without a metronome, so we'll stop there. So that's quite a strange phrase to kind of just play on its own without any reference, without any bandmates. So if I was to do that again, but with the metronome clicking where the red lines are, it will sound a bit more like this. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how I use the metronome. I find it a lot easier to keep in time if I know the metronome is clicking on 1 and 3. I find it a lot easier to count the gaps between the notes and the phrases. If I had it clicking on every beat, my brain find it a little harder to kind of count where I am. If I just know that metronome is constantly on 1 and 3 of the bar, I can mentally line up where the notes should fall. So that's how I keep in time. The other way is with your foot, and your foot is essentially doing the same as the metronome. So if your foot is just tapping 1 and 3, and then you play the melody in time with that. That is fine if you can move your foot independently. I've seen a lot of people who would, when they try and tap the foot, they end up tapping their foot to the rhythm of the melody. So they'd go ba 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 ba. That obviously doesn't count as keeping you in time because you're cheating. So there are your two options for trying to keep in time. Now let's have a little discussion on what our right hand should be doing. This tune is a great little exercise on making sure that your right hand is doing the right thing, which is down on the beat, up off the beat. There's a lot of phrases in here that start syncopated and remain syncopated. For example, the first two bars of the first time bar, those da 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 are all off the beat. Da da da. So they're all up. So as a little exercise, I would suggest you get the tab, which is free to download below if you haven't noticed it already. Print that out, get a pencil and go through the sheet music and on every single note write in whether you think it should be an up or a down. And then at the end of that tab, I have put the right answer. I have tabbed out with all the pick strokes in, and you can see if your theory is matching mine. It'll take, it's a really good time to check that your right hand's doing the right thing, because this tune will test it like no other. So now let's break the tune down, and there's 7 kind of obvious phrases that of not equal length, just kind of arbitrary phrases that I've decided to choose. So I've got the metronome on, I'm going to leave it on, and we're just going to go through it phrase by phrase. So that is clicking on 1 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's start with phrase 1. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and let's do that again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. And then phrase 2 is a bit longer. And so after 4 again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a tricky one. Let's do it again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One more for good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. And then phrase 3 starts on just after 4 again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's phrase 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more for good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving on to phrase 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One more for good luck. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then phrase 5 in the yellow box. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then phrase 6, which is a really long one. So this time it's after 3. And 1, 2, 3. Some really tricky phrasing in that one. So let's do it again. And 1, 2, 3. One more time. And 1, 2, 3. And then just to finish all of this off, pretend we've done the repeat, done phrase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again, and then we come to phrase 7, kind of a descending arpeggios. This will be after 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so get your little finger involved in that one. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One more for good luck. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So now it's time to link all of them together and play the full tune. So we're just going to play it twice through with the repeat. I'm going to have the metronome on at 70 BPM just to increase it a bit. And don't forget, you can slow me down if you want to using the cog down here. And keep looping it back if you get it wrong, because it's really important you get the timing right. That's kind of why we're doing this, is so you can get used to counting those difficult phrases, making sure you're playing it right. So really, really try and lock into the melody that I'm playing rather than, you know, just getting near. So listen out for the melody, follow me, here we go. After 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top. 2, 3, 4. Second time bar. So there we have it, the full tune. Just for good luck, I'm going to do it a little faster for you now, and you can try and join in with that. We're going to increase it to about 90 BPM. And again, same thing, twice through. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ornithology, the great tune by Charlie Parker and Benny Harris. Keep looping that back, keep making sure you're getting those timings right, and in part 2 we'll look at the chords, which are equally fun to play. If you have any questions, head over to mandomike.com. Please hit subscribe down here while you're enjoying this video, and we'll see you in a few weeks for part 2 of Ornithology.